cankerworm that's eaten deep into the fabrics of our productivity as a disco and even to our customers. And I'll start by explaining what energy theft is. Energy theft is a situation whereby a customer or where an individual, let me use the word an individual.
Yeah, sometimes it might not even be your customer.
Yeah, when an individual connects illegally,
Okay.
he uses electricity without paying for the power that is consuming.
Okay.
Now, I would divide it into two. You know, energy theft can happen through what you just mentioned, as in somebody that's not been connected to the network, that's illegal, or a metered customer.
Okay.
Somebody that's even registered with us, that is a customer, and we have his data on our database.
Okay.
The kind of person also can also involve in energy theft by having an unauthorized access to his meter. What do I refer to as unauthorized access? This is tampering with our installation in a bid to evade payment. So that becomes energy theft. And the most significant disadvantage of this is divided into three.
Okay.
I will start by saying it causes financial losses.
Okay.
Because every investor plows money back from the profit that he makes from his business.
Of course.
And Disco is not an exception. For every quantum of electricity that we produce and send to our customer through our distribution network, we have to pay the transmission and the generation companies for them. So the moment you are stealing this energy, there is a meter from the source or at the source that is recording every quantum of energy that we are giving our customers. So at the end of the day, the meter is read and the value is paid in naira.
Okay.
To our discos, to the transmissions and the gencos. So in a situation whereby a customer has stolen this energy, it becomes difficult for you to get the money back and pay for the services that you have given already. So now what does that tell us? It tells us that it becomes a very big problem for the company to plow back into the system to ensure that things that are supposed to be done are done. Because when you don't have the profit that you expect, how do you plow back to this business? That's number one disadvantage. Number two disadvantage is that it can even lead to death. Because by the time you are connecting illegally, you are not trained. What you just know is you want to hang a wire in the night because you don't want to pay.
Exactly.
And in doing that, you may get electrocuted. We have seen issues like that in the discos.
Yes.
Then number three also, it can cause problems to the equipment that you have. I always tell people that electricity is not like water. You know, when you distribute electricity, you distribute electrons. And the characteristics of electron is that if there is an impediment to the flow of current, it goes back to the source. Unlike water that can still flow through. But this goes back to the source. And when it goes back to the source, what it creates is a heat energy around that particular equipment. Those that know physics, we call it I square R. That's the current and resistance. And what that does, it causes problem on the equipment that is sending out that supply. So it creates heat around it. And you see the transformers packing up. You see the wires snapping. And that is the problem that energy theft causes. So within our environment, let us find a way to educate people and desist from energy theft. It's a very grievous offense. Thank you.
All right, very grievous offense, I must say. Now, talking about that being very offensive, under the current regulatory framework, does the AEDC have the legal authority to disconnect customers who are involved in illegal connections without issuing a prior notice? And if this is so, what safeguards are in place to ensure that this power isn't abused?
Yes, AEDC have the veto power to disconnect customers that are involved in this.
Okay.
And the Customer Protection Regulation of 2023 also empowered us that we have the legal authority to disconnect any customer found to be engaged in illegal connections without prior notice. And this regulation is aimed at curbing electricity theft and preserving the integrity of the power supply within the system. Yeah, we do not disconnect arbitrarily. That's one thing I want all Nigerians to know.
Okay.
AEDC follows strict internal procedures, including investigations, evidence gathering, and proper documentation before any disconnection takes place. In many cases, we also work with security agencies to ensure full compliance with the law. The ultimate goal for this is to protect our paying customers, and create a fair electricity distribution environment.